I don't know if he knows he is. It's like, I don't know if that dude knows he's an Israelite, but he's an Israelite. You ain't gonna have a heathen teaching and preaching in the names Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. It ain't gonna happen. It's like, yeah, my phone keeps looking like it wants to die or wants to cut off the camera. All right, be straight. All right. Yeah, man, so you gonna have, look, Israel, pursuant to the curses of Deuteronomy 20 chapter, was scattered into the four corners of the earth. All right, and during the various captivities, the men of our nation laid with heathen women. Okay, so you're gonna have Israel, all right, coming out looking like the nations, man. You know, and Great Millstone and us brothers in the right spirit, you know, Men of Valor, DTA, you know, and etc. Okay, we go into that, man. All right, because you've had a scattering of our people, all right, into the four corners of the earth. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 64, for example. You know, because of that, you're gonna have Israelites who come out looking like every nation under the planet Earth. You're gonna have Israelites looking like so-called Arabs. You're gonna have Israelites looking like so-called Filipinos. You're gonna have Israelites looking like so-called Japanese, okay, Ammonites. You know, it's just a fact, man. And that's offensive to a lot of you, because a lot of you just don't have the spirit, man. A lot of you men out there holding Bibles and wearing fringes, you know, thinking you're something. You don't have the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahshua on you, man. You don't have the spirit of the Lord. And you know, the scriptures talks about, you know, trying the spirit to see whether it's of the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Because if you're a man of the Lord, you're led by the spirit of the Lord. You know, how do we know we're Israelites at the end of the day? How do we really know at the end of the day? All right? Do we have paperwork confirming our lineage and our heritage? No, but we know through the spirit because of Romans 8 and 16. All right? The spirit bears witness, man. So a lot of you are keeping, you may have been walking off the elect for years, man, because the only thing you see is black and white. And there's no such thing as a black person, and there's no such thing as a white person. That is a false construct set up by Esau. Okay, there ain't no black people and there ain't no white people. That wasn't even a thing until 1681 in Virginia. And the elder Zaquan Malcolm up in Chicago goes into that all the time. So this whole black-white thing is a fake, false construct. Okay, there's no such thing as black people and white people. All right, you got Jacob again, which collectively is the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. All right, then you have the Israelite foreigners. Then you got Esau, so-called white man, and you got the rest of the nations, man. Okay, and I'm not gonna get into all that. All right, because we already know that. You know. But yeah, a lot of these men, they don't have the spirit of the Lord, and so they're not spiritual. They see things through a carnal lens. And you can't come out of this book from a carnal perspective. You got to be spiritual to understand these things, man. A natural man, it says, matter of fact, I'll read it. But hold on, let me read this again in Matthew 7:15, Slaki. It says, beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. That's right, you know, and they'll come with a little bit of truth. I mean, you do have men out there teaching Israel, you know, talk about salvation being for Israel. They'll come with a little bit of truth. They'll come in sheep's clothing. But what's inside? They're really a ravening wolf, man. They're a ravening wolf. All right? It says, ye shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Yeah, man, you're going to know them by their fruits, man. You're going to know them by what they speak, by their doctrine. Okay? What comes out of their mouth, what's in their heart or mind, their doctrine, that's how you're going to know these false prophets, man. All right? It says, verse 17, even so every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. And I'm going to stop it here in verse 19. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. So all you false prophets, all right, that aren't producing good fruit, all right, you're going to be hewn down and cast into the fire. What does that mean? You're going to perish over here in the lake of fire, man. Which, one more time, the lake of fire is going to be right here in America, man. All right? 200,000 is what John the Revelator is saying. All right? That's how many warheads are going to hit America. All right? 200,000, that's 200 million. Okay, because each one of those missiles have multiple. You could have a missile that has 150 warheads in it, you know, on it. Okay, yeah, man. This day, hey, so you're one of these false prophets. Okay, because like we read in Jeremiah 23, it says, woe's coming on you, man, for teaching messed up doctrine, for teaching bugged out doctrine. You know, again, for not calling on the name of the Lord, man. That's, you know, hey, that's essential. You got to have that name. You know, and here's what it ultimately comes down to, because I was listening to Apostle Bar this morning. What it ultimately comes down to is you got to be of the elect. The elect are going to call on Yahweh. The elect are going to do this. Yahweh Bashim Yahshua save me. Okay? In the day of trouble, the elect are going to say, Yahweh Bashim Yahshua save me. And the Lord knows his sheep. The Lord is gonna, and the Lord knows every one of his sheep. And it don't matter where you are. Okay, you could be down in Australia. There's brothers down there teaching in Australia. You know, you could, you know, wherever you are. You know, Ethiopia, wherever, Saudi Arabia. Okay, the Lord knows where his sheep are. All right, his sheep are going to call on his name. All right, and they're going to be delivered out of this hellfire that's coming, man. You Babylonians out here are finished, man. All right, you Americans out here are finished. All right, and you Israelites who want to insist on continue to wander after this beast. All right, and comply with these mandates and go along to get along, y'all going to be destroyed, man. All right, and you're going to have to be, because the scripture says all Israel's going to be saved. All Israel is ultimately going to be saved, man. Eventually, all Israel is going to be saved, but you 2/3 are going to have to come back and be reborn in the kingdom of heaven, man, after you serve your punishment. You know, because yeah, ultimately all Israel is going to be saved, man. Ultimately, the Lord is going to have. Ultimately, the Lord chose Israel, all right, to be redeemed, man, to be saved. All right, but not on this first go around. All right, and so, and you don't want to miss it. You want to be on this first go around, man. You don't want to go through Jacob's trouble and be destroyed. You know, hey, the Lord's got some gruesome judgments coming to this place, man. Vicious. Okay. So I was talking about, you know, spiritual. You got to be spiritual to understand this book. You know, you cannot come at it with carnal, you know, with carnal understanding. The Lord has to have his spirit on you to understand this book. All right. Many have tried to understand this thing. Okay. But ultimately, at the end of the day, the Lord only gave, you know, the secrets to his servants, the prophets. That's Amos, the 3rd chapter and the 6th verse. All right. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 14. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God, all right, or the Spirit of Yahweh. All right, it says, why? For they are foolishness unto him. So see, to tell someone like the leader of One Body in Yahushua, for example, that Yahushua did literal miracles, he's going to look at you like you're foolish, man. Why? Because he ain't spiritual. All right, it says, for they are foolishness unto him, neither can he know them. It says, because they are spiritually discerned. Okay, so this book is spiritually discerned, man. All right, you ain't gonna be able to receive the things of the Spirit if you're the natural man. And again, 2/3 of our people are walking around out here as natural men, women, and children. Okay, not having the Spirit of the Lord. All right, one more time, thinking it's okay to be spiritually connected to Babylon the Great. You know, thinking it's okay to be connected to all this paganism, to all these feast days that go against the Most High power, Yahweh Shai. All right, and you got a lot of men who have picked up this book, calling themselves Israelites, you know, who are natural men as well. You know, not every Israelite teacher is coming with the right doctrine. You got to stick to the men of great millstone. Okay, get heavy doses of the apostles, get heavy doses of the elders. Okay, stick with that. Okay, because these other dudes, and a lot of them are slick, man. You know, Yahweh said they were going to come with, you know, with sheep's clothing. Okay, but what's, you know, inside of them is a ravening wolf, man, a ravening wolf. Right? So stick with the right teachers, man. All right, stick with the right teachers. Lord set up leaders in Israel. You know, and a lot of men don't like to admit that, but it's true. You know, it's just the truth. You know, and there ain't no There ain't no cheerleading going on. Look, this is just the truth, man. You know, if you're a man, you should be able to admit the truth. This is the truth. The Lord set up teachers for us, man. You have to be underneath the proper teacher with the proper doctrine, okay? And the Most High Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua gave the proper doctrine to the apostles, who got it from their apostles, okay? And we got it from them, all right? Stick with the right teachers, all right? Stick with what has been taught, you know? Don't go switching up doctrines, okay? If the apostles don't teach it, don't teach it, okay? You're gonna be destroyed, man. You know, this is not a game, man. See, in a lot of this, a lot of Israel, you know, Israel's into entertainment, man. You know, and you know, Israel loves to be entertained. But this is we're not here to be entertainers, man. We're here to bring out the hardcore facts, the hardcore truth. All right, unfiltered, man. Okay, straight, no chaser. All right, this ain't about being a flashy, you know, doing, you know, rapping, you know, doing big old productions, you know. No, this ain't about that, man. This is about being in the right doctrine and bringing out the correct doctrine and reprove it and rebuke it. That's what this is about, man. The Lord is not playing games no more. I mean, he's just not, you know. You know, but once again, I mean, you know, the Lord has to have His Spirit on you to understand that, you know. Lord has to have His Spirit on you, you know, for you to understand that. Yeah, man, the Apostle Paul, he warned about it, man. Let's go to Acts. Apostle Paul talked about these, he called them grievous wolves, man. You know? I mean, he basically said the same thing Yahushua said. Yeah, here we go. It's Acts 20 chapter, Slaki. This is Acts chapter 20. Because, like I say, man, the apostles, man, hey, about Apostle Paul talked about these wolves, man. Talked about these men who would come with the wrong names. You know, how these men would come with, you know, false teachings in general. How these men would come with not understanding end times prophecies regarding the MOTB. You know, he warned about these men. Same way Yahushua warned about them. Same way Jeremiah warned about them. You know, this is Acts chapter 20 in verse 26. It says, "Wherefore I take you to record this day that I am pure from the blood of all men." And that's what we're hoping for, man. You know, to cleanse our hands, you know, figuratively speaking, of course, from blood, and to not have any blood on our hands. That's why we come out here, man, because we have to account for our own sins, man. We have our own sins to deal with. You know, we don't want to have 2/3 sins. So we're cleansing our hands by coming out here and warning you, all right, and telling you to repent and telling you to get right with Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, all right. So this is what Paul's saying, man. He said he had a clear conscience, man. He did a lot of warning. He did a lot of reproving and a lot of rebuking and a lot of preaching. It says, "For I have not shunned to declare unto you all the counsel of the Most High Power Yahweh." And that's what we do, man. We declare the whole counsel of the Lord, even the things that don't sound good. All right, like talking about the 2/3, how they got to perish. That don't sound good to a lot of you. And sometimes it don't sound good to us. You know, that sounds horrific. You know, but hey, it is what it is, man. You cannot be in the apostles will tell you this, especially Apostle Gabar. And all the apostles will tell you, okay? You gotta leave your emotions at the door when you come to this book right here called the Holy Bible. You gotta leave your emotions at the door. We all have emotions, okay? We all get angry, we all get upset. You know, we all can get emotional. But when you're dealing with the scriptures, you gotta check that at the door, man. Because the Bible is very clear. Go to Zechariah 13 chapter and 8 verse, and it'll tell you the 2/3 are gonna be cut off and die. They gotta be put down. We preach that, man. We also preach that according to the law, which we don't think it's expedient for anyone to do right now, but according to the law, we teach that because the law teaches it, that it's okay for a brother to have multiple wives. Now, do we really want to be in that position right now? No. Okay? But according to the law of the Lord, it's lawful. Okay? Problem is, and the reason that hurts your ears so bad is because you grew up in these fucking harlot houses, posing as churches and as Christianity, and they taught you false everything, man. They told you it was okay to eat all this abomination. They told you it was okay to call on sweet Jesus. They gave you that plantation Christianity, and that's what you grew up on. So when we come out here and declare the whole counsel of the Lord to you, you look at us like we're weirdos. No, you're the weirdo, man. You Christians are the ones who are really weird, man. All right? Because whether you like it or not, okay, whether you women like it or not, men are gonna have multiple wives. All right? And if you don't like it, you're just gonna be left behind. All right? But anyways, you know, we talk about Jacob's trouble a lot. We talk about the MOTB. We talk about the concentration camps and what's gonna happen inside of them. We're giving you the whole counsel of Yahweh, all of it. You know, in Ezekiel the 2nd chapter, it talks about this book being full of what? Lamentation, mourning, and woe. That's what this book is full of, and we talk about that. We tell you lamentation, mourning, and woe is coming. That's all part of Jacob's trouble. You got pastors out here that don't want to talk about Jacob's trouble. What's going to happen when it comes? You're not going to be spiritually prepared for the storm that's coming, man. And storm is on